So with Star Trek's bread and circuses, we have, yes, another parallel Earth. Now, I recently rewatched a documentary that talked about parallel universes and the theories about them, and apparently there's different versions of it that astrophysicists think is the case, and that there's sort of like this mirror effect, if you will, actually within the universe. So it's like the collection of galaxies that we have, then there's a space between it, and then there's yet another collection of galaxies that would be a multiverse, and it would be a copy, and then somewhere in there is another Earth. But the Enterprise can't make that journey. So I don't know that the same would apply within reach, within the galaxy itself, you know. Then there's others, of course, the one where the universe is in the same space and time and that sort of thing. It's a cool documentary that History Channel did, and you can check that out on History Channel's YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Anyway, so Kirk and crew are looking for a lost ship on this planet that is very Earth-like. At least it's not a complete copy of Earth. They do mention the land masses are different and everything. But it appears to be at the industrial or technological state of the 20th century, and they show up and they catch some of the television broadcasts, and it reveals that in this planet, their version of the Roman Empire, which, you know, to make this work, it would have been better if they had not called it the Roman Empire. And then, well, what are the odds? They all speak English, but then, good Lord, they're all speaking English everywhere on alien planets and stuff. But of course, it's supposed to be a universal translator somewhere, I don't know, in their ears like the Babel fish. Anyway, so they make a point of that here too. But basically the point is the Roman Empire never fell, and the modern world is orchestrated under that, and they still have gladiatorial contests, but they broadcast them in a studio television. And that's how they roll. So Kirk's looking for the lost crew, and they go in there and they say, oh, we got to observe the prime directive. They immediately get caught by some slaves, so they still have slavery under Roman rule. And the slaves have broken and sought freedom because they've all come under this religion of the sun. And they figure, oh, well, they got some sort of sun worship religion. Well, that's not quite what it is. But Kirk, just by showing up in their uniforms and with their weapons and stuff, and he says, oh, our ship is out at sea, and I don't know that would work. So, but they are provided with clothing that the other slaves have. They immediately get captured, and of course they're brought in, and then turns out the captain of the ship, Merrick, has joined into the society because, well, he's an idiot. Just decided, hey, the Roman way of life was the best way. It never should have been abandoned. Kirk and Kirk, what? And so his own crew didn't want to go along with this, so they all got enslaved and thrown into the gladiatorial contest and probably all died. So Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are going to be treated the same way. The proconsul knows about all this, and he wants Kirk to bring down his whole crew because Federation officers are better fighters than the guys they got already. And in order to get him to bend to their will, they put McCoy and Spock into the arena, and they're fighting, and McCoy's just not cut out for the fight, and he's nearly killed, but Spock saves him, which does the saving grace for even a show like this one episode that I think is a bit weak. Is it's not that the premises could have been, I think they could have been handled better with more sensible trappings, like for instance is not really the Romans and stuff like that. But anyway, there's a scene there where after they're back in their cell, and it's brief, but it's a good scene and telling in Spock's character and the relationship between him and Bones, and they're just really good at performing that. And it's not enough to save the show, because I think it's one of the lesser ones. But the classic episode still leaps and bounds better than what we got today, but that wouldn't take much. So, but it's really cool. And then and it's on a funny note, of course, McCoy says, I know, I'm worried about Jim too, because I think something terrible must be happening to him. And they cut back to Kirk, and of course, he's getting laid. Because, you know, it's what he does. And look, a woman's going to offer herself to him. He's not going to say no. So, in the end, Merrick decides, well, apparently he can watch his own crew members get slaughtered, but not Kirk and his two buddies. So, he manages to get the communicator and call to the ship, and it's all over for them. And Kirk and Spock and McCoy beam back up to the planet. Uhura informs them that they were not sun worshippers. She was studying the transmissions and understand that they're actually worshiping the Son of God. So Christianity is also being repeated here on this planet, and will ultimately overcome the Roman society and all of that. It just took 2,000 years extra to happen. I don't know. But, well, there you go. So, yeah, the idea that you could have had a captain who becomes seduced by society's power structure or whatever could have been worked through. But this obviously it's another one where, look, we got all these gladiator costumes from other movies and stuff. Let's just do an episode using that, and yeah, there you go. So, but they couldn't have done a time travel thing, I guess. I don't know, but the likelihood that something like that could have happened, I don't think so. But and they posit some theoretical things here, and even Spock says, well, they've managed to avoid 2 world wars with Roman power. And stuff like that there's benefits to it, but the price to pay could be too high. And so, anyway, yeah, that's all good and fun, but ultimately, not one of the stronger episodes of Star Trek. But it's Star Trek, and there's good stuff in it, and I did enjoy watching it, so, there you go. All right, another review of Star Trek. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.